I have to say I was very surprised with myself because I didn't think that I would have these many updates for you guys on the first update of my project pan, but I do. Welcome back. Welcome to my first update for my project pan, which I introduced last month. I'm very late to the game, but I'm starting off very strong, if I say so myself. I will show you in a minute, but basically this is a very casual project pan. I have goals, but I don't have a lot of pressure on myself. I'm also not counting daily uses, so I'm just marking the products where they are, and I have before and after references, so I can get the idea of how many uses I have. Just because, being practical, I'm not going to be following up with the marking every single use. I know myself, I'm going to forget about it, and I'm going to probably count things very wrong. So I don't want to have that extra pressure on myself. So we're doing it very casually. We're just going to go off the before and after pictures, and I think that we are going to see a lot of progress on some of the things. So let's jump straight into the products and see where we are. Starting off with skincare, first we have the Centella unscented serum. I mentioned that I wanted to finish this in the next couple of months, sometime during this summer, and I am glad to say that this is the progress. So I marked where we were last month right here. I'm gonna insert the footage of last month and this month's comparison. But this is where we were last month, and this is where we are now. So that is a huge chunk out of the product. I mentioned before that this serum is nothing special to me. I wanted to finish it up because I already have a replacement for this, a different serum that I want to try. But I didn't want to open the new one without having this one completely gone, because then I have two serums open and then I'll neglect this one and I'll have to throw it away. So I didn't want to do that. So before starting the new serum, I wanted to finish this one, and we're off to a very good start. This is something I use twice a day. Usually I use it in the morning and the evening, sometimes only the morning and sometimes only the evening, depending on what I've done that day. Because I'm not the most consistent with my skincare sometimes. This is a product I don't really notice a lot of effect on my face. It doesn't aggravate my skin, but it also doesn't really do a whole lot. So I want to get it out of the way, and I'm very happy with how we're doing. I think this is definitely going to be gone by next month if I keep up this use. I use about 2 pumps every time I use it. Just because it's a very thin consistency, so I feel like 1 pump is just not enough to cover my entire face. So I use 2 pumps, and I'm very happy that this is going to be gone by next month. And carrying on with skincare, we have our first empty. So round of applause for me, because I didn't know that I was going to finish this so soon. This is where we are. It's completely gone. I mean, I can still kind of scrape some leftovers, but I'm done with this, because I mentioned in my intro that I hated this moisturizer. I don't know how to explain it, but it basically sits on my face. It doesn't absorb, it doesn't properly moisturize. I don't feel like it's massively moisturizing my skin, and it kind of just sits on top of my skin. And now that it's getting very hot, I feel it so much when I put it on. It's so uncomfortable. So basically I'll put it on, and it kind of makes me sweat, because it's like having a layer of something really thick on my face, and it kind of makes me sweat and everything. So I hate it. I don't like it. I'm so happy it's gone. I did kind of cheat with this one. Not cheating, but yeah, a little bit. A lot of people mentioned in my intro that if I didn't like it, I should just scoop the whole thing and use it on my arms or my legs and be done with it. So I didn't really do that, because I felt it was cheating in a way, which is really stupid, because no one is holding me accountable to this. It's just me, so it doesn't really matter. But what I did do is I started using it on my neck and my chest. I mean, I always used it on my neck, but I started to using very heavily on my neck and my chest area, and that just really gave it the push that it needed to be gone. Because same thing with this, I have a replacement for this already, but I didn't want to open it until this one was gone, to avoid having a lot of skincare open. So now this is gone. This is completely gone. This is empty. It's out of my collection, and I am incredibly happy that it's gone. At the end of this video, I'll show you what I'm rolling in to replace the things that I'm rolling out. So yeah, just for now, this is gone, and I'm going to be rolling in another item of skincare in its place. For foundation, I have the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation here, and you maybe already can see a little bit of a spoiler there of where we are, because my goal for this is to potentially finish it at the end of the year, but I think that might be a bit optimistic. I think I might be off. But seeing how much I've used this past month is actually giving me the confidence that I might actually be able to finish it if I continue this way. So this is where we were last month when I started the project, when I introduced it. And today we are right here. You can see the windowing here. I've had this standing up on my dresser for 2 days, so because I knew I wanted to film this video. So I've had it standing up, and when I've used it, I've like used it very like vertically. I'm just like squeezing it out like this so I wouldn't move it, so I could really get that windowing and show you like just where we are. So right now we're about here. We were at the bottom of the word healthy here, and now we're like right at the bottom of this arch here where it says clean and vegan. Yeah, we're right here. I'm gonna mark these at the end of the video, like after I'm done, to keep track of where we are. But yeah, this is where we are. You can definitely see that I've taken a good chunk out of it. I'm really surprised with myself because I definitely didn't like this foundation when I got it. It was very dry, and it kind of still is a little bit, but now as we enter the warmer months, my skin is not as dry, and I think that's really helped in making this look nicer on me. I also use a wet sponge to apply it because that's the way that it looks the most natural on me. And also I've been using this more because, spoiler alert, I finished a concealer. So instead of using another concealer, I've tried to use this as my concealer because I'm definitely realizing that I'm not a foundation person. I would like to stop wearing foundation altogether, but before I do that, I want to get rid of the foundations that I have. So I have this one and I have another one in my collection, and my goal is to not have foundation, or maybe just have one for like special occasions, like if I have an event, a wedding, or something that's a little bit more dressed up, then I might want to have a foundation. But for everyday use, I've just realized that I'm not a foundation person. So a lot of the times I've been using this as concealer. So I just put this on my cheeks where I have a little bit of redness, and under my eyes to kind of brighten everything up and get my skin looking somewhat like uniform. And it's been working great for that. I'm really happy with the use I've gotten out of it. So if we carry on this way, we're definitely going to be done by the end of the year, or very close to being done. I don't know if I'll be able to carry on that level of use. I'm going to try and keep using it as concealer because I can handle having it in certain areas. What I can't handle is having it all over my face. So we'll see. But yeah, this is good progress stuff. I love watching Project Pan updates from people where you can really visibly see the progress, and I feel like this is goals here. Like this, I made it, guys. I'm part of the Project Pan community with like a good before and after. I love this. So yeah, I'm really proud of this, and hopefully this will be done by the end of this year. So I mean, yeah, I'm definitely very, very proud of myself. So when I started this Project Pan, I did mention in my intro that I was setting myself up for success because that's the only way I was going to get motivated into continuing to do this. And so I chose a couple of products that, you know, were very much already on the way out, and this was one of them. And as I expected, I'm finished with this. I knew that I was going to be finished with it within the first month or two, and I did. I'm completely finished with this. I removed the stopper, and as you can see, there's like, I mean, there is some product in there, but I can't be bothered to do like the whole trying to find something to scrape every single last drop. I think that this is good enough. You can kind of see that it's mostly gone. This is my favorite concealer by far, but I have a few problems with it. This is very, very tiny, and I'm not talking about the travel size. The travel size has 1.4 milliliters in it, but I think the full size has 6 milliliters in it. And for the price that it is, which is like 35, nearing 40 euros, I think that's a bit of a rip-off, not gonna lie. So before I jump into buying the full size, I want to, well, continue using my Bourjois foundation. I also have an Essence concealer that is that I really like and enjoy, so I'm going to try and get through that one before I buy any new concealer, because I want to find my one concealer that I always buy. And I thought it was going to be the NARS one, but when I saw the amount that is in the full size, I was kind of let down. I mean, it's a massive price point per gram or per milliliter if you analyze it. I mean, yeah, I was a little bit let down with that because I really love the concealer itself. But not gonna lie, I probably will buy the full size, but I have to first really think about it, because if I stop wearing foundation and I only wear concealer, I'll be wearing concealer a bit more often and maybe a little bit more of it. So having something that's so small and that at that price point is just not really, I don't know. But yeah, first makeup empty in a very, very long time, not gonna lie. I was very excited, even if it's just a mini, okay, I'm proud, because I haven't actually like completely finished a makeup product in such a long time, and I'd forgotten how good it feels to, you know, like get use out of your stuff and be able to say, okay, this is done, now I can move on to my next thing. And also I'm very proud of the feeling of not having to immediately replace this. Like, at another time in my life, I would have probably ran out and immediately repurchased this or bought something else to replace it, even though I already have another concealer and I have a foundation that I'm trying to get through as well. So I'm very proud of myself for holding back and doing my research before I replace this. I'm not going to be repurchasing this or any other concealer in a while I figure out what I really want to buy and what I want to spend my money on. So yeah, very happy with this, and it's, you know, it's a makeup empty. I can't show you a before and after because I don't, it was very hard to show how much was left in this. Even now you can see, I mean, you can kind of see the lines there, but it's very hard. But basically, yeah, I removed the stopper, so I think that you can definitely tell the difference with the before and after footage, but I'll see what I can do with that. Moving on to powders, I had two powders. I'm going to talk about this one first. This is the Rimmel Kind and Free in the shade Fair. Same reasoning with this as I have with a few other things, which is I'm not in love with this powder, but I don't want to run out and buy something new just because I don't fully love this one. I'd rather finish this, and once I'm done with it, I'll figure out what powder I'm going to get next. But I don't want to run out and buy another powder and have several powders because, I mean, to be honest, it's not a bad product. I know that there's going to be better products out there, but I also don't want to just abandon this one because it's not actually bad. It's not breaking me out. It doesn't make me look cakey. It's just that I think that it doesn't give me the finish that I was expecting it to or that I would like. The packaging is broken, which is one of the biggest reasons why I hate this, and if you can see here, it's gonna start cracking even more. I don't know when, I must have dropped this or something, but a little chunk came out, then a larger chunk came out, and now I'm seeing that it's cracking all the way here up to the top there. So at some point this is going to continue cracking. It's not a very good quality packaging. It's like a plastic thing. But yeah, this is really disappointing because the moment that this cracks even more, and if it starts cracking up here, it's going to start opening in my makeup bag and it's going to make a mess, which, yeah, I'm not happy about, but I'll have to live with it. I'm going to probably put some tape on the back to at least give it some control or something. I don't know. I have to think of that. But onto the progress. Not a massive progress here. I definitely see more of the rings. I could already see them kind of last month, but I can see them a little bit more clearly right now. So you see one ring there and another one there, and maybe, is there another one? I don't know if there's a third one, but definitely see these two. I still haven't hit pan. I wasn't expecting to either. I mean, this is relatively new. I bought this at the beginning of the year, so it's definitely going to be a while. There is kind of a dip going on, but still no pan, and I don't expect to see one until maybe 2 or 3 months more of use. We'll have to see. So I'm going to continue using this. As far as number of uses, like I said, I'm not tracking individual number of uses, but I use this every single time I do my makeup. This is what I set my T-zone with. And if I have to do any touch-ups now that it's getting warmer and I get maybe a little bit oily throughout the day, I will do touch-ups with this. So the only problem I have is that I don't trust myself taking this with me because the state of the packaging, yeah, I don't want to take this with me. Like, if I know I'm going to be out all day and I want to take a powder to just blot in the middle of the day, I'm too scared to bring this. So I'm not bringing any powder basically because I don't trust this. So yeah, we'll see next month where we are. I definitely think that there will be a difference between the before and afters, but I don't think it's anything to like be very excited for. I think powder products are the ones that are most satisfying to see the evolution of, but it's only when you hit pan that you really start seeing how that evolution is going. So for now, we're still working on hitting that pan, and we'll report back next month. My second powder that I have in the project is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Powder. I have the mini one as well, and here I again don't have anything too exciting to report. I think the dip might have gotten bigger, but I don't, I mean, there's no pan, and I'm also being very careful of using this more towards the top because I did drop this once and it cracked. So it cracked a little chunk off, and I'm scared that if I start using it on this area, it'll just crack and crumble even more, and I'm scared of that. So I've been using it a little bit more over the top, which has probably taken from this dip becoming bigger. But I wasn't expecting to hit pan on it anytime soon either, because this one is also relatively new. I bought this one this year, and I only use it to set my under eyes. I either use a powder puff or a little setting brush. When I use the powder puff, I definitely contribute a lot more to the dip, but I find that I pick up way too much product, so I've been using the brush, which gives me a little bit more control, and with the brush I've been, dipping it into the top. So not much to report here. We'll see in the next few months how we get on with this. I was thinking of buying the full size of this, but I still have to think about it because I haven't tried this to set all of my face. Because here's the thing, what I'd understood is that this powder is more of a blurring powder, so it's meant to be used like your under eyes, like around your nose where maybe you have more visible pores, just to kind of get that blurring effect, not all over the face. Because all over the face it might give a bit too much of a matte look, which is something that I don't like. I don't like an overly matte complexion and like a completely blurred, filtered complexion. I would like that maybe for certain events or something, but on my day-to-day I don't like that. So I don't know how worth it is to buy the full size if I just use it under my eyes. I might try to, use it as a setting powder, because some people left comments saying that this is not just for like your under eyes, it's like a proper setting powder, but then other people have said that it's not a setting powder. So I'm a little bit confused. I'm going to continue using it under my eyes, but I might try it like on the rest of my face to see how it looks. It definitely does a really good job at blurring out my under eyes and making it look very nice and tidy, but I don't know if I want that completely blurred effect all over my face. So I don't know, we'll see how long it takes me to hit pan, but I also use this basically every time that I do my makeup. So let's say that there's been about between 15 and 20 uses in a month, because I don't wear makeup every single day. But yeah, let's see how we get on next month. Moving on to blush, we have the NARS Orgasm Multiple. Now, I have so many things to say about this. I have used this so much this month, but I hate it. I mean, well, let me show you the progress, because I think that we're definitely going to be able to see progress. You see how much we've used there? Let me just twist it up. And this is how much we have left. So definitely a good chunk out of that one, or at least that's what I want to think. But I've used this most days that I've done my makeup. So again, let's say about 20 times this month, more or less. I think I've used it almost every single time I've done my makeup. I mean, I have switched between other blushes, but this has been like the one I've used the most, and I have to use so much of it, because if not, it just doesn't show up on my skin, that I'm definitely making good progress on it. I'm definitely going to finish it by the end of this year. I know I am, but I hate it because my problem with this is that it is extremely glittery. It's not just like it leaves a nice sheen. No, it's very glittery. It accentuates every bit of texture that I have on my face, and I'm just bored of it. I've been using it so much as well, and it's just it limits me a lot, because when I wear this, it has to be a very like pink kind of makeup, because this is quite pink and very glowy, so I have to, you know, embrace the highlight, the excess highlight, because this is the effect it gives. So I'm kind of bored of that. I really, by the end of the month, I was using a couple other blushes that I have, because I was just bored of this one. I'm gonna pick it up again now in July, continue using it in the project, but I cannot wait for this to be done. Like, I just, I hate it so much. I mean, I'm so bored. And I don't hate it enough that I want to like completely declutter it, because I know that some people have left comments like that saying like, oh, if you hate something so much, you should just get rid of it. And no, that's a little bit of a wasteful mindset, in my opinion. I mean, I don't want to like completely throw out a product that is fine. It's just that it's not something that I'm enjoying using. I have so many other products that I think look a lot better on me, and so I'm forcing myself to use this one just so I don't have to throw it away, because I don't want to throw it away. But yeah, I cannot wait to be done with this. I'll pick it up again this month, continue using it, and really make some progress on it. I want this to be gone out of my collection, because it's so glittery. It's just, I like highlight. I enjoy a bit of highlight in the high points of my face, like on the bridge of my nose and on my cheekbones. But this is so glittery that, and it's a blush, so I apply it as a blush, and the whole area of the blush is super glittery. And I just don't like that look. So, I don't know. I'm having to come to terms to the fact that I'm going to be glittery for the next couple of months while I work on this, but one day it'll be out of my collection and I will never buy it again. I'm sorry if you love this product, but it's just been a complete fail for me, but we are continuing to work on it. For my powder blush, I don't have a lot to report. This is the Milani blush in Berry Amore. This is super old. I got this from my parents' house last time I was there, because I left it there years ago, and I wanted to give it some use before decluttering it. My goal is by the end of the year to flatten the dome, and that is absolutely not happening. I mean, I've used it a few times. I've used it probably a handful of times this month. Let's say between, 5 and 7 times probably. So definitely not enough to cause any disturbance on the dome. I use this on top of the NARS one very often, but this is also a little bit too dark, so I have to be careful with it, meaning that I don't use a lot of product when I put it on top of the other one, the NARS one. So yeah, that's gonna really make it slow, a slow process. So either way, I'm gonna keep it in the project because I do like the way it looks, and it's quite nice. It's quite nice and flattering on my skin. But this is one product that I probably, by the end of the year, even if the dome isn't flat, it will be decluttered because it's very old. But still going to be in the project, still going to give it a chance. I just haven't really reached for it that much this month. I'll make it a point to reach a little bit more this month of July. So let's see how we do next month. Again, I think that powder blushes are just one of those things that are very difficult to see progress in until you hit pan or you hit a certain point. Anything before that is just looks the same all the time, and this is what's going to happen with this one, but it's a gorgeous color. Milani does very good powder blushes. I'm very surprised at how well this is holding up, considering how old it is, and I completely forgot that I had this until my mom gave it to me, and I was like, okay, it's actually a nice blush. So let's see if I can get a little bit more use out of it before the end of the year, and let's see if by that time there's any disturbance in the dome and we can see actual progress on the before and afters. I don't think there's going to be much progress to be seen this month. Eyeshadow wise, we have my Too Faced Natural Eyes palette, and the goal here And the goal here is to hit pan on one of the 3 bigger shades. So we have 3 shades here, which are Heaven, Silk Teddy, and Strip Poker. And my goal is to hit pan on one of those. So definitely see some progress compared to last month. I've used this quite a few times, not every single time that I've done my makeup, but I would say I've done between 10 and 15 uses of this easily in the last month. I've noticed that I'm not really reaching that much for Strip Poker because this color pulls a little bit too orange on me, but I use Heaven as my eyeshadow base for everything. I use Silk Teddy as a topper because it's a really pretty like wash of pink with a bit of sheen, and as a crease color, or like to deepen up my my eyes, I've been using Cashmere Bunny instead of Strip Poker because Cashmere Bunny is more of a cool toned brown, whereas this pulls a little bit orange. I also use Sexpresso as my eyeliner. So I definitely see a little bit of change. I've definitely not hit pan on anything, but I think that Heaven is definitely one that I can hit pan on by the end of the year. I use it so much, and it actually is a really nice base because it looks quite white here, but it's actually more of a cream, and I'm quite pale, so it actually looks a lot like a decent skin tone-ish base for me to put even other eyeshadows on top. So sometimes I just use this and then put some eyeliner on, and that's it, and it really helps to brighten up my eyes. I've also been using this push-up color a little bit. It's kind of a bronzy color. I have to be careful with it because again it's very intense, but I like it like a little bit of like smoked out at the edges of my eyeliner, and it looks really nice on my green eyes. So yeah, I'm happy with that. But I think Heaven is definitely the one that I'll be hitting pan on, but I'm gonna keep my my goal of hitting pan on one of these 3. I just don't think it's gonna be Strip Poker because I've tried and it's just way too orange on me. I don't like it. It doesn't look that orange here. It looks very beige, even slightly cool toned, but no, it actually pulls super orange on me. So Cashmere Bunny is a lot better. Maybe I can change and say that I want to hit pan on one of these 3, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to hit pan on Cashmere Bunny either because I only use this like to deepen up my crease. So I use a very small amount of it, whereas these 2 I use a lot more. I'm scared that I'm causing a little bit of hard pan on Silk Teddy because I use it with my finger. I'm going to have to be careful with that because I find that it doesn't apply very well with a brush, so I started using it with my finger, and I do think that I'm developing a little bit of hard pan there. So I'm gonna have to remove that with some tape, but yeah, you can kind of see that the embossing is much less visible, so I think we're making good progress here as well. For lip products, we're gonna start with my Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Moon, because again, more progress. This is where we were last month, and we have gone down a little bit for this month. So I've been wearing this one quite a lot. I think that almost every time that I've done my makeup, so again, let's say between 15 and 20 uses, and maybe a few more because I do reapply this one. I tend to take this one with me in my bag, and I do reapply maybe once or twice when I'm out. So this I've definitely gotten quite a lot of use out of, and you can see that it's gone down. My goal with this one is to be done by the end of the year. We'll have to see because it's not an easy product to pan because it is quite thick, so I don't use a big amount of it every time I use it. And also the applicator is massive, and that also makes it hard. And oh, and there's product up here as well, by the way. But I still trust the mark that it makes when it's sitting on my dresser, just because that's the easiest way to kind of count how much I've used. But yeah, it's one of these products, like already I've moved the doe foot and you can see it's completely disturbed the whole thing. And yeah, there's a bunch of product here. So it's going to be hard to know if I'm going to be done by the end of the year. But this is the mark that I'm going to count on, and next month we will see where we are. When for reference, what I do is I just leave it like that for a couple of days on my vanity, and wherever the shading is, that's where I count. That's what I count as progress. So Last month it was there, now it was around here. Now it's completely moved, so I'm gonna have to leave it here for a couple hours before I take the before and afters, but there's no problem. And for my other lip product, it's this Zara lip oil. This one also is kind of hard to tell how much I've used. I definitely see progress on this one. I tried marking it and it completely rubbed off. I'm just going to base it on the before and afters, but basically it's also a hard product to kind of see how much you have left because it's slanted, like the packaging is slanted. All of Zara's makeup is like this, it's like slanted to one side. So it kind of, that's how it settles. But I do think that there's progress. I think that there was a lot less of a gap here last month. And so yeah, I've also been using this one quite often. Sometimes I use my Maybelline one and then I take this one with me to top off. Sometimes I do it the other way around. Sometimes I wear this as just like a hydration on my lips when I'm around the house, which is something I don't do with the Maybelline gloss. Because the Maybelline gloss is a lot thicker and this is just more like it's a lip oil, so it's a lot more hydrating. So sometimes if I'm just working at home, I'll just put a little bit on. So I have had some use out of this and I think you can definitely tell. So I'm not worried about this one. I also think that I'm gonna be able to finish it by the end of the year, and if I don't, I'm gonna be quite close to finishing it if I continue this this usage. And I'm also not bored of it. I like it. I think it's a very like trusty lip gloss. It's like I mentioned it before, it doesn't go on red. You see it red here, but it doesn't have like not even a slight tint of red. As far as I can tell, it goes on completely clear. So it's a very nice and comfortable lip oil, and I have no problem reaching out for it. So yeah, I'm happy with it. So that is everything on my project pan, and here are the products that I'm continuing to use, and these two are the products that are rolling out because they're finished. So the number of products that I had 11 products. So since I'm rolling out 2 because I finished them, I thought I would just roll in 1 and leave it in an even 10. I know that Project 10 Pan was like the original name of this, even though people just now add however many products they want. But I like 10. I think 10 is a good number. So since I've finished 2 products, I'm just going to roll in 1 and then we can have an even 10. And so these 2 are going away to the empties bag. Let me know if you want to see an empties video, by the way, because I am keeping my empties in a bag just to keep track of them. But I can show you those and maybe quarterly, I don't know, we'll see, but let me know. So in place of those 2 products, I'm going to be rolling in this Mango Balm.com by Glossier. So this is very old. This is, I want to say like 3 or 4 years old. Basically, I bought this when they opened the Glossier store in Covent Garden. I was there and I didn't know that they were opening until I was there, and I was like, oh wow, they're opening a Glossier store here. At the time, I bought this lip balm and I bought one of the cloud paints in the shade Storm, I believe. Yeah, Storm. And I already decluttered the blush because I liked it. It was way too intense for me. I don't know who I think I am getting these like really intense dark red blushes. But it was just so messy to use. I used it for a while and I thought it looked really nice, but I had to use like the smallest drop of it, and it made such a mess every time I used it. I decluttered it. But this I really like. But by now, this is very, very old. I'm going to continue using it. I don't care that it's old. But this is a really, really nice lip balm. I used this for a while when my lips were doing really, really bad, and it helped massively. So I'm going to put this in the project because I would like to finish this at some point. We're going to say, let's see if I finish it by the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to be possible because this, I need the smallest amount of this. But you know, we'll see how we're doing by the end of the year, but I think I have about this much left. I've used quite a bit, as you can see, but still there's loads left here. So I'm going to try and keep this in my bag. I'm going to try and use it before I go to bed. That's the way I usually like to use this the most, because I can put a little bit more on. But when I have it in my bag and I reapply it during the day, I have to use the smallest amount because this actually goes a very long way. So I'm gonna roll this in, and this is gonna be where we start, right here. I'm gonna mark it right now with my Sharpie as well, but we're just above the G here. So that is where we are, where it bends, just above the G. So that's a good starting point to have as a reference, and we shall see how we get along with that. But anyway, that is everything from my project pan update for this month. We have 2 empties, which I'm so happy about. I knew that I was setting myself up for success with those. I knew that I was going to be finishing these very quickly. It's a very satisfying thing to see how your makeup is actually going down, or your skincare, that you're actually getting use out of products. Because if I weren't doing this, I wouldn't be keeping track of it, and I don't think I would notice it. But now noticing like how much I'm using of it, first of all, it gives me much more of a reference of the speed at which I use makeup, and it also gives me the motivation to keep going. Like if I see how much my foundation has gone down in just 1 month, it's encouraging me to keep going, because I know that I can finish it in the next 6 months, and my goal of not having any more foundation will be closer, you know? Or the same with this blush. Even though I hate it and I don't like the way it performs, I don't hate it enough to completely toss it away into the bin. I want to keep using it, and I see the progress, and I see that if I continue using it, I will have at least gotten my money's worth from a product that I paid for, because I don't believe in just binning anything that doesn't work for me. I think the only reason that I would completely throw a product away is if my skin had a reaction to it, if it broke me out, or if it gave me some sort of allergic reaction. And none of these products, regardless of if they perform better or worse, none of them have caused me that. So I don't want to get into the habit of just throwing away something that doesn't work for me 100%. I want to give it a chance, and I also want to use my things up before I move on to something else, because makeup generates such a massive waste. Producing makeup is incredibly impactful on the environment, and once the products are done, this is all plastic. Like, most of this is plastic. So throwing it away just after a couple of uses because I don't like the way it looks seems incredibly irresponsible for me. If I throw something away, it has to be because it's finished, or because there is just absolutely no way that I can use it. So yeah, that's just a little bit of my approach on this. I hope that it makes sense, and again, I'm not trying to discredit anyone else. I think that everyone has to do what they think is best for their life and their choices. I just don't feel comfortable throwing things away just because I don't like them. That being said, I am going to shut up now, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, but let me know how your project pan is going, if you're actually doing one, and if you're recording them, leave a comment so I can go check out your channel, because I really like watching other people's progress, and I'm trying to be a little bit more active in interacting with people. I want to see your videos, or just tell me about it. If you don't make videos about it, tell me about it in the comments, and I'm very nosy. I want to know what you're using. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video, and we will see these products in next month's update, and hopefully there'll be more surprises. Take care, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!